Okay, good day, guys. Now, I believe in our last class we talked about basic softwares we can use for basic office users, right? Right. Which one of the softwares we spoke about was word processing. We'll talk about Microsoft Word, right? So today we'll be using Microsoft Word and see some basic tools or some basic elements we can use together in order for us to make our designs, or sorry, to write our book or our summaries or a letter or thereabouts. Um, Whenever you open a Microsoft Word or a document, apart from Microsoft Word that can be used for word processing, there are other softwares. One of them is WPS. Now, if I glance through this WPS, you can see this is WPS, right? It's different from Microsoft Office. This is WPS Office. Which among them you can see documents, right? Like for word processing, spreadsheets, similar to your Excel, presentation, similar to your PowerPoint, and other softwares. Now, for the course of this training, we'll be dealing with Microsoft Word. They have no much difference. The similarities are much, and the differences are few. Okay, so most of the things I'll be doing on Microsoft Word can also be found or done on WPS. So anyone you pick will also give you the same result or similar results. So let's create a blank document by clicking on this blank document. Clicking on this blank document means we are creating a new document. Okay. In order for you to access our Microsoft Word document, just like the one you're seeing here, I can simply just navigate to my Windows button here. Are you seeing it here? When I click on it, I'll just type the word Word or MS Word regarding the one you want. And the very minute I click on open, okay, it will open the document for me, giving me the opportunity to start creating my document. Okay. Now, because we don't have a already created document, so therefore I'll be creating a blank document. So if I click on this blank document, voila, can you see? We have a blank plain document that I can work with. Am I clear? Am I making sense, guys? Now, on this, you can notice that something is blinking, right? That thing that is blinking, we call it the cursor. What is it called? It is what gives a notation or a position of whatsoever action you perform, like anything you type, that is where it will be written. Let's say I put the word A. Are you seeing that A is there and the thing shifts? Let me put B. Are you see? So anything you type on this line will be indicated on it. Are you getting it? So let's start by writing a letter. So let's design a random letter, and I will use that to explain some of the tools we have up there. You can see where we have our home, inserts, design, layout. I will explain each and every one of this. Now, I will explain them, but if you don't put them in action, you won't get to understand them better. The first one you see here is called the font style, right? Which you use for selecting a font. Now, when I mean a font, that means the type in a normal human sense is called handwriting. You know, handwriting of Mr. A differs from Mr. B, right? In order for you to be able to indicate the type of writing you want, you select the font size, and this determines the size. You use this to increase the size according to the size reference being given here. Why we use this to reduce the size? We use this to change our items from maybe capital letter to small letter, right? Let's see them in action. Let's say I type the word run cloud technologies. Okay, technologies is correct. Now, let me select these two, select them. If I click on here, I want you to notice this. Let's say I select area black. Can you see that the font that we have now is different from before? Okay, let me just retype the same word down here. Run cloud technologies. Okay, and I select it. I come here and I select this caliber light. Can you see that the font size and the way they are is totally different? Even if both of them are using the same size, but the way it looks is quite different. So let me change this one now. Let me change it to something else entirely. Let's scroll down and come to this Berlin San. Now this is Berlin Sans Serif. Can you see them? Can you see that the sizes, the way they are being written are different? Are you noticing it? The way they are being written is different. That's because we selected the font size differently. Now, if I highlight anyone and I come here, if I increase this size, the higher the size, this is just the font size. Can you see that it is changing? And I can select this and give it a random one. Let me say I say 20.5. Can you see? It will make the size 20.5. Are you getting it? So you can highlight this and change. Let's say you're looking for a peculiar font and you know the name, but you can't, it is very difficult to find. You can just highlight this and type it. Let's say I say Time News Roman. I select it. Can you see that the fonts now are different? Is it clear? Is it clear? Doctor, at this point, do you have any question? No question. Now, because you have no question, let me show you something else you can also do. While selecting this, I can just click on, you see this change case that we have here. If I click on it, I can change from sentence case to lowercase to uppercase to capitalize each word or toggle case. Now, let me show you the difference. Sentence case, that means you write it in a sentence format. Sentence format means the first letter of each word, the first letter of the sentence will be the only one in capital letter. The rest will be small letter. If I click on this, can you see? This is the only capital letter, while these are small letters. If I click on this and select the lowercase, it will convert all the letters into lowercase. Can you see? Everything is in small letter. Are you getting it? Which we call the lowercase. And if I select the uppercase, it will convert everything into what? Capital letter. If I click on this, are you seeing it? Everything is in capital letter. Similarly, if I put it in capitalize each word, it will go back to the way it is in this format. Whereby the first letter of each word is in capital form. If I click on this, can you see it? Similarly, if I click on this and I said toggle case, that means all letter will be capital letter except the first letters. If I click on toggle case, can you see it? And if I want to make it bold, I can simply click here. I press Ctrl B. Can you see? This is italic. Italic means the letter should be slant. I can click on this or press Ctrl I. This is Ctrl B. This is Ctrl I. If I want it to have underlining and there's a line under it, I can simply click on this and it will put a line under it. So let me take it back to my normal capitalize each word and remove it from italic. Can you get it? Are we together? Now we can add all our other designs to it. If I click on this, you can see that I put a line through it. That is a line stroke, right? You know, in computer, in maths, we have this thing we call base and power. I say 10 raised to the power of 2 or 10 base. Okay, let's say we want to write something like log. Okay, the reason why it's like that is because this 2 is. Let's say I want to write the word log. Log base 10. Log base 10. 2 raised to the power of 2. Is this the way it should be? In normal log reading, this one should be below here. This one will stand the same way. Why this will serve as the power? In order for us to put all those things in place, I can just highlight this. Are you getting it? And I click on this part here. If I click on this subscript, can you see it will take it below? If I click on this superscript, if I click here, it will take it to the top. Now, can you see the way we wrote it? Now, this is 10 log base 10 2 raised to the power of 2. Are you getting it? This is the way you can do for designs. Any question before I move further? Yeah, what's the question? Under it. Now, the red line under it, the reason why it's there, the reason why that red line is there is because in a normal sense, the reason why the red line is there, because in a normal sense, plug it, plug that system, let it charge. In a normal sense, are we together? Any document you see that has a line under it, it indicates that that word that is underlined is not recognized in the dictionary. That's why it's showing red line. The word run cloud is not recognized. Let's say I remove the word run and I put the word just cloud, or I space it out. Now, in English, there's a word called run. In English dictionary, there's a word called cloud. In English dictionary, there's a word called technology. Because each of these words, eh, they are in the dictionary. That's why it's not showing red line. But if it is not in the dictionary, it will show red line. Now, mind you, because it show red line, does not necessarily means if you're printing it out, like you're making it an hard copy, it will have that red line. It will not be there. They are only putting the red line there to indicate to you that this word cannot be recognized in the English dictionary. If I press Ctrl Z to undo all what I've done, one thing you will see is, as it's showing red line, if I right click on it, press my right click button, you can see that they are giving me samples. Is either I space it out or I put rain cloud. It's now my choice. But if what I want is still that same thing, I can ignore it by simply saying what? Ignore. Or I add it to a what? Add it to a dictionary. If I click this add to dictionary, it will automatically add the word to the dictionary and it will no longer give me that error again. That means whenever I'm typing with this document and I type the word wrong cloud, it will automatically recognize it because I've added to my what? My local dictionary. In essence, every document, like every office software you install, comes with a dictionary. That's what they're saying in essence. So let me click add to dictionary. Can you see that when I click add to dictionary, this one too, the red line is no longer there. Let me remove the underline. Let's pause this. Okay, so you can see now that it's no longer there. That's how we rectify things like that. Have I answered your question? Any other question? Now, you can see that we have more things here, right? Like this word art. We call this word art to add effect to our text. That means to add design like shadows and the likes, outlines. If I click, let me click this now. Can you see the kind of effect I'm adding to my text? We have many other more. This one is to put a color on our text. This one is to align the background of our text. Can you see? This one is to put color to our text. If I click on it, let me select this one and I click here. Can you see the text become red? So this is how we do some things. Control Z is undo. Control Z undo. Control Y is to what? Redo. Redo. Let's say I did this now. I put this thing in red color. If I want to undo it, that means I want to remove it. I can just press Control Z. But let's say I want it back. That's Control Y, which is redo. Undo, redo. So that's how we do it. And then we have our bullet button for listing, and we have this. Now let's just, because if you don't practice these things, you're just doing it. Or I explain everything. As long as you're not practicing, you won't know it. So any part of it that is not clear to you, ask me please. So let's try and create a letter. So I will first of all remove all of this. Now I want to create a letter. In a letter, I will put address, right? The person I want to send a letter to, the person's address. So let me click on this and select this to be what? Time New Roman. And I want my size to be 12.5. Okay? 12.5. Now, let's put the person's address. So somebody should give me an address. Give me, okay, 25. 25 Ogunlade Street. Can you see the Ogunlade show red line? That's because the word Ogunlade is not being recognized by the English dictionary. Comma, Alaba, Oro, Amukoko. Oro is being recognized, but Alaba is not recognized. Lagos State, right? Then let's put dates. So today's date is 4th. 4th. So let's say 4th like this. That means this will have to be superscripts. Now, is it that you click this, or the short code for superscripts is Control Shift, and you will see where you have plus and equals to sign. Abi, if you press your Control Shift plus and equals to sign, it will activate your superscript. Then press it down. To undo it, you will press the Control Shift plus again. You remove your superscript. Then you can press space. 4th of November, comma 2022, right? Then this is the sender's address. It's supposed to be here. How do we get this here? Now watch something. If I click on this, I like this. I want all of this to be here. Okay. I can simply just come to this place, the right paragraph. It is under the paragraph here. There's what we call alignment. This is alignment left. Means anything I do, move from left to right. This is what we call alignment right. Means anything I do comes from the what? Right to left. And the shortcut for alignment left is Control L. Alignment right is Control R. While central align is Control E. Please guys, give me a minute. Control E. Then the other one is what? Justify content. That means from left to right, make everything touch the left to the right in arrangement. So I will click on what? Sorry? At Control J. Control J. Now, if you mouse over any item, they will show you the shortcut at the top. Now, if I click on this align right, to take it to the right. Now, I think there's something wrong about this thing too. Is this incorrect? The address is correct, but the arrangement is not correct. Everything's supposed to be aligned here, right? Now, in a straight form. Now, in order for us to do that, first thing, you take this back. Let's take it back to where it is. Now, let's pick a point. This is where we want, right? Now, there's something we call indentation. Are you getting it? If I double click on this part, watch. You can see that it took my cursor from here to that part. Meaning, it's giving me the opportunity to type there. Now I can type 25 Ogunlade Street, comma, street, comma. Now I need the second line. I will just come below this part too and I double click. I can now say my Alaba Oro. Please let's do the Amukoko beside it too. Yeah, here. Should it be here or should it be at the bottom? Beside it, abi? Amukoko, right? Comma. Then Lagos State. Then you take your cursor down here too. Under it, double click. Lagos State, right? Full stop. Then you take your cursor to the bottom again. Then here, this will be what? Fourth. Fourth. Control Shift plus TH. Control Shift plus again to undo of November, 2022. Now be careful when you're doing this thing. If your alignment is not proper, that is, first consider the size of your text before you start, because let's say you take this thing now, you put it here. If the space remain here will not be enough to take it down, because automatically all our document has this indentation margin being added to it. Now, who is laughing? I don't think we need this again. You cannot. You cannot. That's why you have to click it there. You cannot copy and paste it there. I clean this. Then I clean this. Then I put full stop here, right? I press enter. Now if I press enter, I see it came here. Now we need to put the receiver's address. Okay, you're the one receiving. Give us your address. Okay, let's send it to me. It's a formal letter. Let's send it to me. So let's say it's going to the management. Abi? Run Cloud Technologies. I think this should not be 23B. Ogunlade Street, Alaba. Okay, I think Alaba Oro, comma, Amukoko, Lagos State. The management. It's not the management of, just the management. Okay? And if you know the person you're directing it to, you can put the person's name. Sometimes if you know the person's name, let's say you're the person you're directing it to itself, the person has a name. You can put the name directly. Abi? That place you have the management. Under it, before Run Cloud Technology, you just put the immediately after the management, comma, you just put the person's name, then the company's name, then are you getting it? Now, immediately after this, hold on, guys, you will do your work. Focus on mine first. Don't worry, I'll give you opportunity to do yours. Can we continue? Now, the next thing is dear sir. But I believe that dear sir, is he always direct immediately after, or we do we used to add indentation? Just one line below. We now say dear sir, Abi, or slash ma, because we don't know who is receiving, whether it's a male or it's a female. Then we now put the title, right? But if you notice something, the title is always in the middle, bold, and underline, right? In order for us to do that, we have to center it. This is the center. Is that we click here or we press Window E, Control B, Control U. Control B means make it bold. Control U make it what? Underline. Control E will put it in the middle. Yeah, you can just click in between. No, no, you must put it in center first. You must put it in the center. Doctor, as at this point, do you have any question? If I give you a classwork to do, will you be able to do it? So now let's type. So let's say anything you type will be there because I have selected it already. I'll select the board with Control P, with Control U. Yes, Control E, to put it in the middle. Control B, yes, Control B for bold, Control U for underline. Any other question? Now, hmm? No, if you don't know whether it's a male or a female, so you can put both. There's a slash in between. There's a slash in between. Just slash. Now, let's put it the title. So somebody should give us a title. Application. Now, everything should be capital letter, I think. So on your our cap lock. Application of the post or position of an accountant. Now it is in the middle. We bring it here. Now we no longer need the bold, the underline, and the center. So I can simply press Ctrl E or click on this one here to take you here. Sorry, I'll press on Ctrl L to put it at the right. Are you getting it? Then press my Ctrl B so that it will no longer be bold, and press my Ctrl U so that it will no longer be what? Underlined. Now I want to start our paragraph. I believe in a normal convention, but let's say you're writing it, our paragraph will have a distance away from our border here. That means a space in between. So we call that indentation. In order for us to add indentation, there are two ways. It's either you press your tab button on your keyboard, there's a key called tab, or you see an arrow that faces back and front. That's what we call our tab key. When you press the tab ordinarily, it will indent your cursor, this thing that is blinking. It will push it inside a bit. If you press Ctrl Shift, it will take it back a bit. So if I press the tab now, I see it moves directly. Now, the reason why it's moved directly here is because in our normal indentation of what we did here, do you remember this? This is where we select our tab. Are you getting it? But where do we want it? I think we want it here, Abi. We want it to be here. So I can just simply come here and double click. Are you seeing? I can just come there and double click. And I would, okay, question. I didn't get. Let's say it is in center E. Control E. Moved to that line. Yes, yes. Yes. This is it. But that's not what we're dealing with. You press tab now, it takes you there, right? Press Ctrl Z, Ctrl E. If you move, can you see it still move there? No, no, no. It is checking something. Can you see it's moved there? So Ctrl Z, right? Then Ctrl L to take it back. Then we'll say Ctrl U to remove the underline. Now we'll just double click. I think it is under here we want it, under the S. Now when I click there, I can start typing. So let's just write something in random. I can say Lauren remove my cap, lorem uspom, abi, blah 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 blah. Now the problem you will have now, I'm just putting something random, is can you see that anything I do, you can see it's now correcting, right? Now, when it gets here, some people will expect it to come under here, but no, it's going to this beginning. Okay, that's a normal way of putting the paragraph, right? That's how we do it. So to start another paragraph, press enter, right? Enter. You enter on your keyboard. No, 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 no. When you are at the place you want to stop, just press enter. It should just move back to. That's what you're seeing in performance. Are you getting it? So let's do our yours sincerely, right? I think that's the next thing. So let's do our yours sincerely. So in order for us to have our yours sincerely, you know it to be at the right hand side. So we can simply just come down here, right? And double click here. So yours faithfully, sincerely. Then we'll come here, double click again, right? Um, Lotachukwu Eze. Abi, I think we are done. Is your name not Lotachukwu Eze Nwa? So Eze is easy. So I think we're done, right? Then signature. When you print it out, the person will sign. Or you put the signature as a picture.